Hey guys, I'm Carson with the Rubber Duck Debuggers, and today we're going to be showing you our Duck Planner app. So, our app aims to make traveling easier by allowing you to have all your events, ride shares, flights, hotels, all of that kind of stuff in one place so that you don't have to go to all these different apps to see them. We also allow users to collaborate, so if you're going on a trip with someone, then multiple people can have access to this trip and see what's going on rather than having to like text each other and be like, when are we doing this? What are we doing? Now you just have all that in one place. And we also have the destinations show up on the map so you know where you're going. We also have an AI feature that allows you to kind of get like a rough draft of your apps or get ideas for what you want to do and where you want to go whenever you're going on your trip. So before, let's say I wanted to go to Tampa Bay. I would have to go to Google Maps and find a bunch of different places to go, and then I'd have my flights on a different thing, and then my tickets and like Ticketmaster or something if I were going to a concert or something. And like I said, we would just like the collaboration would have to be we'd have to be texting each other, saying what we're doing, just kind of memorizing what we're going to be doing and when we're doing it on this trip. And now with our app, we just have one interface where you can see everything that you're doing. You can see when you're doing it. You can see where you're doing it on the little map. So it makes it so much easier to just focus on having fun when you're on vacation rather than making sure that everybody's, going to be at the right place at the right time.
Hi, my name is Kinsey. For the technologies that we're using for our app, we really wanted to use TypeScript, so we ended up going with a vanilla React front end and Node.js for our back end. For our front end, we paired React with TanStack Router, and we added ShadCN to have a consistent component library that we could use across our app. We ended up using Tailwind for inline CSS, which was really convenient and nice to use, and we added Lucide to have icons that would be consistent across the app as well. For the backend, we paired Node.js with Express, we used PostgreSQL for our database, and we hosted that in a Docker container for development and put it in Neon for production. We used Prisma for our ORM to query the database, and we hosted everything on Vercel. We used BetterAuth for authentication, and for our APIs that we ended up using, we used OpenStreetMap for putting pins on the map, and that map was provided by Leaflet's API. We used Gemini to be able to create trips with our trip generator, and we used Unsplash to be able to put random images that fit the trip for that AI planned trip. So now we're going to go ahead and go into our demo. Our app is at this URL, travelplannergammanavy.vercel.app. We can go ahead and sign up with a new email. And I'll put in a password that is just 1234. And you'll see when I try to create that account, it says the password must be at least 8 characters long, so I'll use an 8-character long password. I'll create my account, I'll save that, and I'll log in.
Hi, my name is Kevin, and now I decided that I wanted to take a trip to Columbia, South Carolina with Kinsey. So we are going to name this trip Columbia, South Carolina. I want to attend this trip from the 22nd through the 28th. And I want to add Kinsey as an attendee that is going with me, therefore she can edit this trip because I am a horrible planner. I want to choose this photo of a flower because we're big flower people and we love botanical gardens. So now let's go create this trip. In our drop down menu we have all the trips that we can go in and edit. So we want Columbia, South Carolina, which is already on. Let's say that Thursday I want to pick up a rental car, so we are going to use Enterprise for this. The pickup is going to be Thursday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. and the drop-off time is going to be the 28th at 8 p.m. I can now save this change, and as you can see we have the rental pickup at 5 p.m. and the rental drop-off at 8 p.m. on that final Tuesday. Let's say that Friday night we decide we want to go out partying. So we want to be safe and responsible human beings. So we are going to book an Uber. So we want to be picked up the 24th at 8 p.m. from 1307 Assembly Street in Columbia, South Carolina, and we want to be dropped off at 32 Hayward Street, Columbia, South Carolina. We will now save these changes, and as you can tell, it's got our Uber pickup and our Uber drop-off.
Hi, I'm Risha and I will be walking through some more features on our planner page that we have. One key feature is the map that we have, which includes the pins. It will add on the pins if user adds flights, hotels, activities, rental car, and rideshare info on here. And so we're gonna see how user can add all those events. First, I'm gonna add a flight. User can select date and time for the departure and arrival time, and then the airport and the flight number and the seat number. And saving this will create the departure flight car and as well as the arrival. And we can also see that on the map that it created pin for both locations, and on clicking the route we can see how it has connected all the info that user added. Now the next thing is, let's say if Kevin and Kinsey wants to go to escape room, so I would just add that to my activity, and the location will be 717 Lee Street. And I can change the date and time here. So adding this will create my activity pin on my map here, as you can see, and on clicking on that pin we can see whatever activity I named. The next thing is hotels. We can add on the check-in date and check-out date. So let me just add 22 and the check-out date as well. So here user can enter the address and the room number, and saving this will create a hotel card for check-in and check-out. And here, as we can see, that it also created pins for our hotels, and on clicking route now we can see all the routes through all the events that we added.
Hi, my name is Christian Ruff, and I'll be talking about our AI feature. Before we can talk about our AI feature, though, we need to investigate our profile photo because we get preferences that are useful for the AI. So in our profile, you can see that we have our name, last name, email, and phone number. This is just standard information. If I want to change this information, I can click Edit Profile, and that allows me to do that here. So if I would like to change my photo, I could do that, as well as insert information about myself. I can also update my password by giving the current and new password. I can also talk about my travel preferences, which are really helpful for the artificial intelligence. So travel preferences include the transportation, your budget, as well as the foods that you're interested in, the activities you like, and your room types. So let's say for this trip I want to also try some American food. I can add American food. I can remove some of these activities. So for example, if you're not looking for a relaxed lifestyle when you go on your trips, you can remove that. And if you're really interested in culture and arts, maybe you can click the cultural tag. And then finally, you can edit your room types exactly the same. So once you're done making these changes, you click Save Changes, and those changes you'll get a notification that your preferences have been updated successfully. Back to our trips page, we've seen the way that you can create trips manually, which is a really key feature of our app. The other feature that might be useful for a lot of our people are the trip planners. So this little badge at the bottom is the artificial intelligence trip planner. You can include the dates in which you're going to go see this trip. So let's say that I want to plan this trip for August 2nd through 8th. I can do that. And you can give any type of description you'd like. I'll go ahead and write this description. I'm looking to enjoy as many Broadway shows as possible and explore the art scene around New York City during my time. Generating the plan, it will take the information that we just saw in the profile as well as the information you just gave and the dates to generate a full-fledged plan for you. And we'll see all the trips, the activities, the travel times, etc. added once we get to our next page. So we'll let it buffer and we'll be there. So as you can see, it has all of our activities, a full day worth of things. We have more activities down here. And so we can see these activities there. We can also see these activities added on our map. So you can use the map feature that we talked about earlier to go see those activities. And we can also click, for example, opening Google Maps to allow us to see those particular places. So, thank you so much.